Right, welcome back, hot dogs and donuts. It's your boy Spider Pig, aka TWP. Y'all already know what time it is. It's like 8 o'clock on a Super Saturday, so y'all already know. Oh yeah, we got a studio video for you today too. Shouts out to the person that hacked my phone, cause that shit be happening. Hey, we still gonna keep it popping, cause you know how we do. Don't nobody stop me but me. Hey, shouts out to that part of the game, right? Right, look at Harley Quinn holding that bomb for you. Yeah, let's get to some videos, cause I ain't trying to hold you up all day. Yeah, you know, I'll keep you here all day if you want to. Shout out to the playlist. Run one and run them all. Hell, you'll find some videos you like somewhere in that list. Says we have what, 1,000 videos on YouTube, so you know we got something for you to do. That's just this channel. Shout out to all the channels, cause you know it'd be like that. Anyways. I'm gonna be smoking, so you better be rolling up yourself.
Hello, monkey. I heard you like to fight, but never let an enemy out of your sight. To any fool that go with him to face our might, the Frieza force will knock you out like a light. His son Gohan the only one to get your hand-me-downs. Vegeta had a pity party with his tears out. You're saying it was a weird case, why was he around? Certified Super Saiyan, certified imbecile. Frieza, fuck him up. I might do my stuff. Why are you fighting like a bitch? Are you hungry? Try with all your might, but you're still a filthy monkey.
I mean, putting Frieza on the beach, you already know that's a problem. Cause they not like us. Speaking of Frieza, right?
Do you remember Frost? The Frieza from Universe 6? Well, what if I told you that the rivalry between him and Frieza was all a setup? That Frieza was actually training him to be just like him, so that in the future, the two of them could wreak havoc together? I'm going to prove every point to you. So stay tuned and pay close attention to every detail in this insane video. Without delay, go subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and turn on the notification bell. You already know that Frost is full of rage, but what you might not know yet is that Frieza thinks far ahead of his time, and of all the Z warriors present. And the best moment for him to act would be now, having been brought back to life through the wish Android 17 made to Shenlong, with a new saga based on Universe 7 coming. Just like Frieza once went to planet Vegeta and made Vegeta go through everything all over again, this time he'd be visiting Sadala. Except now, Vegeta is a different person. Still, just the possibility of Frost and Frieza destroying another Scion planet means Vegeta would have to surpass himself. This could be the perfect setup for a new saga, a transition between past and future. But how could Frost be capable of doing such a thing? Of becoming a threat equal to the current strength of the Saiyans from Universe 7? And even those of Universe 6? Let's understand how. So guys, we have that moment during the Tournament of Power when Frieza betrayed Frost. We know that Frost belongs to the same race as Frieza, a race that never had an official name in the manga, but is usually referred to as Frieza's race, or the Metamoran race. Like Frieza, Frost has multiple forms. The base form, the final form, and a bulky, muscular form similar to what Trunks used against Cell. Physically, Frost is practically a clone of Frieza, with a bluish tone instead of Frieza's white and purple. At first, Frost presents himself as a noble, diplomatic, and heroic warrior who resolves conflicts in his universe and seeks peace. This causes confusion and even some admiration from Universe 7 characters, especially because he seemed so different from Frieza. But then his mask fell, and during the tournament, something major happened. Frieza revealed his golden form, telling Frost that if he trained, he too could achieve it. Then, Frieza betrayed Frost, who tried to attack from outside the arena, and was erased on the spot. Since Frost was erased by Zeno directly, and not as part of Universe XS elimination, the question was whether he'd be included in Android 17's wish, since 17 was the last one standing in the arena. But the answer is yes. Frost was restored along with Universe 6. Even though he was specifically erased by Zeno, 17's wish encompassed all living beings from the erased universes, and Frost was part of Universe 6. So, even if his removal was special, the wish was broad enough to bring him back to life, along with Hit, Caulifla, Kale, Kaba, and the others. This is also indirectly confirmed by official sources and Dragon Ball Super encyclopedias, which state that all warriors from the erased universes were restored. No exceptions. With that said, we can understand that he would be the perfect villain for a new saga set in Universe 6, a parallel to Frieza, who destroyed planet Vegeta at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. Frost would be the villain here, but far stronger, due to his race and everything he witnessed from Frieza. It would be the perfect test to see how Universe XS Saiyans would react to this extinction-level threat, all while Vegeta is visiting Sadala. They could even include Broly and Goku. It'd be awesome to see the 3 pure-blooded Saiyans heading to planet Sadala. And since Frost had a bit of training with Frieza, before being betrayed, he knows he can go far. Now imagine what if, by some twist of fate, Frieza also went there. Maybe through a request to another god of destruction, or maybe via a rivalry between Kampa and Beerus. Kampa knows Universe 7 is very strong, and Frieza could emphasize that and strike a deal. He'll train Frost to become powerful enough to eliminate the Saiyans of Universe 7. But that plan would backfire, and Frost would act on his own, doing whatever he wanted, with Frieza's help. Plus, his rage toward Goku, Vegeta, and the others would give him the motivation for revenge that this saga needs to really shine. We get to see how strong Frost can become. Who knows? Maybe even a form beyond Golden. He could start with that form, proving that no matter where they are, Frieza's race is incredibly strong and full of potential. But judging by the Saiyans of Universe 6, who might even have greater potential than the ones from Universe 7, it's fair to say that Frost could have even more potential than Frieza. I'll get back to that point in a bit. For now, the real question is, where would this saga lead? It could bring internal conflict for Vegeta, as he watches his race face extinction once again. That could fuel his Ultra Ego, possibly leading to a new form. An evolution of Ultra Ego, just like Super Saiyan Blue evolved into Blue Evolution. Even Goku and Broly would grow to respect him more as a true leader who puts his race and pride above all, willing to fight to prevent the same tragedy from happening in Universe 6. But then Frost might reveal, who knows, a black form. That would crush all hope. Emphasizing Frost as a major threat against the Saiyans would be incredible. We'd get more information about the Saiyan race, and more discoveries about Frieza's race too. Frost could explain what it's like, what their hierarchy is, and maybe even introduce King Cold or his brothers. That could be a reference to Cooler. Maybe he even becomes canon in this saga, or in an upcoming movie. He might appear as a villain, and then Frost comes to avenge him, or the other way around. That would be insane. After all, Dragon Ball's story has always been a dance between warrior races and extraordinary individuals. But few comparisons are as intriguing as the parallel between the Saiyans and Frieza's race. Both groups are almost symbiotically tied to war, domination, and constant growth, but each follows a very different path. While the Saiyans evolve through suffering, overcoming limits, and inner conflict, Frieza's race seems to have been born nearly perfect, with raw power that defies logic and evolution that, when it happens, is as quick as it is devastating. And within this universe of comparisons, the emergence of the Saiyans from Universe 6 and Frost as a counterpoint to Frieza sparks this fascinating discussion. Could the raw potential of this new universe even surpass the icons of Universe 7? The Saiyans of Universe 7, led by Goku and Vegeta, carry a history of bloody battles, tribal pride, and an archaic warrior culture. From the beginning, it was clear that they rely on extreme experiences to evolve. Goku only reached Super Saiyan after the loss of Kuririn on Namek. Vegeta had to drown in his frustration, pride, and envy to achieve the same feat. Every new Saiyan transformation in Universe 7 always came as a result of trauma, extreme training, or pure obsession. It's as if pain was the essential fuel of the species, something almost biological. On the other hand, the Saiyans from Universe 6, like Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale, present a completely different approach. They are calm, more centered, and do not carry that destructive past. They live in a modern, organized society, without conquered planets, without genocide under the command of tyrants. And maybe that's why their evolution is more fluid, less hindered by internal conflicts. Kind of like the hybrids Trunks and Goten, you know? With more S cells in them, and with a huge capacity to learn quickly. When Caulifla reaches Super Saiyan with just a few instructions, or when Kale reveals her Berserker mode without even understanding what's happening, we see there's a natural ease there, almost a genetic predisposition to reach states that the Saiyans of Universe 7 only accessed through enormous suffering. It's as if the race had evolved, refined over time. More emotional lightness, more inner control. And this could represent not just a leap in power, but in biological efficiency. This contrast between evolution forced by pain and spontaneous evolution by instinct opens space to reflect on the race of Frieza and Frost. Unlike the Saiyans, members of Frieza's race are already born with destructive power of absurd proportions. Frieza himself had never trained in his life, and was still the strongest being in the universe, until Goku and company began to catch up to him. It was only after his return, in Resurrection, that he trained for the first time for 4 months, and reached the golden form, something that shocked even the gods of destruction. What does that tell us? That biologically, his race is far above the universal average, but pride, arrogance, and lack of necessity prevented him from exploring that potential. He is a kind of genius who never studied, because he always got top marks without trying. But when he actually starts training, like when he appears as Black Frieza after 10 years in the time chamber of another universe, he transforms into something so monstrous that not even Goku and Vegeta together can touch him. Now, think about Frost, who is from the same race. He has the same genetic traits. He started with a calmer, almost heroic appearance, but revealed himself to be a manipulator, cunning, ambitious, just not more than Frieza himself, due to his backstory. In that area, Frieza gives a masterclass, because he acts from the shadows, lies, deceives, seduces with words. But unlike Frieza, who ignored training until recently, Frost may have the spirit of an apprentice disguised as a wolf in sheep's clothing. He was bothered to see that Frieza was more powerful. He resented it, and it was precisely this discomfort that may have planted in him the desire to grow. At a certain point after the tournament in Dragon Ball Super, Frost tries to train to reach his own version of the golden form, even if he doesn't master it well. This shows something important. He wants to surpass his own limits, and that, in the world of Dragon Ball, is the first step to true evolution. And this movie could bring him in golden form, and even more advanced. Not stronger than Frieza, I don't believe that, because the black form is overwhelming. But it will be something that will surely make Vegeta awaken to it. And it will be an introduction to Frieza after this journey in Universe 6, which has a lot to be explored in the manga. Who knows? This might also start in a movie, just like they did with Broly. Now, if we combine all of this with the natural potential of Frieza's race, the growth instinct of the Saiyans from Universe 6, and Frost's silent ambition, along with the humiliation he endured and kept to himself, we begin to see a real scenario where Frost could, yes, one day surpass Frieza. Because, unlike the tyrant of Universe 7, who spent eras relying on his own superiority, Frost lives in the shadows. He needs to prove himself. He has anger, desire, thirst for revenge. If he could find a mentor or a training method similar to Frieza's in the time chamber, or even follow his own path mixing intelligence, strategy, and physical improvement, he could develop new forms never seen before. Maybe even something like a Frost Black, with unique characteristics. But I think they would bring something else. Even if it's a new saga, it's still too early for him to surpass Frieza. That would be too insane and unfeasible for Goku, Vegeta, and the Saiyans from Universe 6. What defines power in Dragon Ball is not just blood, but the desire to break limits. The Saiyans of Universe 6 have shown that there are faster and more intuitive ways to evolve. Maybe Frieza's race also has a similar evolutionary path, and Frieza is only now beginning to explore it. If Frost manages to find that path before being destroyed again, he could become a threat even to the gods of destruction. After all, what Frieza did in 10 years of training shows that his people have absurd potential. And being of the same blood, Frost has the raw material. What he lacked was the shock of defeat, the direct confrontation with his own inferiority, and that he already had. Now he has a motive, and motive, in Dragon Ball, is what turns a nobody into a legend. In a universe where Saiyans have become gods, a warrior from Frieza's race still has room to surpass them, if he knows how to walk at his own pace. Frost may not be the most powerful villain today, but maybe he's the most unpredictable, and that, as we've seen before, is the kind of threat the universe takes seriously. And it would be the perfect script for this new saga and this new cycle. And maybe in the future, even Frieza could be part of this saga in the manga after the movie and join Frost himself, revealing that everything was part of a plan for the future. In Dragon Ball Super...
I mean, we already know that Black Frieza has been... He probably ain't even going to be the first story, but he going to be a part of the next story. Because, hell, like I said, the way Toriyama ended the story, Frieza is not a bad guy. He's just Frieza, okay? He can do whatever the fuck he wants over, so you gotta look out for him to do some Frieza type shit. He'll help out when he needs to, apparently, but hey, he's always gonna be that wild card. Hell, he might take over Zeno's job because he's that guy that day. But you know what? I'm gonna let you guys run around and keep your planet the way your planet is, but I'm actually running shit now. Hell, that's what type of guy Frieza is, and like he said, he's building up help. And help means multiple universes because now he knows there are multiple. He got to be, as the homie from Cess Crew says, ubiquitous. That means everywhere for those who don't know. Get your vocabulary up. So many days we was sitting low. Hey, y'all will know one of these days.
Anything can happen. All we can do now is wait.
Put from the World Tournament. After that, we were introduced to some Fist of the North Star bandits that got lost and found their way to Dragon Ball. Now, this one introduces something interesting. If you know anything about Sun Wukong, the character Goku is based on, you know he has 3 iconic tools. Goku has 2 of the 3 tools, but Toriyama never introduced the 3rd, that tool being the sealing gourd. Here, it has the power to seal someone if they don't answer when their name is called. After being sealed, they're turned into a liquid that if someone drinks, they can steal the sealed person's power. Kinda OP, huh? Luckily, Goku is able to avoid being converted with the power pole, and turns the gourd on its owners. Goku lets the villagers keep the gourd. Shame he couldn't keep it, as this is filler. But it's not really his style to use something like that anyway. The bandits are no match for Goku, but assuming they've been using the gourd for a while, they're probably pretty strong. So, let's give them 67 and 73. Now...
But for everybody who knows me, this is one of those times where I make fun of our favorite D student. See, he didn't know that sealing gourd is supposed to be an instant nerf, okay? You get that bad guy that came in like Majin Buu that's doing way too much, yeah, you pour out that instant nerf, okay? That's what it was supposed to be. The sealing gourd was written for Wukong to be as a instant nerf to an opponent. Mid-fight, you start talking shit to the motherfucker, and then you say, yeah, say for instance, you just start saying their name repetitively, and then they like stop answering. So you see what I'm saying? So now you pull out the sealing gourd, and then you say their name, and they don't even know what you're doing because you've been doing it the whole fight anyways. So what's your name again? Okay, Ivan. Nigga, stop saying my name. Then as soon as they stop responding to you saying their name, now they stuck in the gourd. Boom, got him, trapped, locked up in the key. Shout out to that dude, Vegeta. Look at him. He all armored up. You just seen him a second ago with the God armor on, and now you just see him with the regular just armor without the fucking chest plate. Shout out to that chest plate though, because hey, you want to stay vital points covered up type shit out here. Hey, you want to be out here naked.
Ultra Ego Vegeta is finally moving closer to the anime. At Puerto Rico Comic-Con, Christopher Sabat, the voice of Vegeta, gave fans a first real taste of what is coming. During a panel, he performed one of Vegeta's strongest lines from the Dragon Ball Super manga. Right before Vegeta unleashes his full strength against Granola, he delivers this line.
Oh man, it looks like my favorite line is going to have to be something along the lines, because I don't know what it's going to be in the dub version. Yeah. But it would be, Kakarot's body may have a mind of its own, but me, I'm all ego.
Hearing those words in Vegeta's real voice changes everything. The energy, the tone, the weight behind it. Ultra Ego is no longer just panels in a manga. It is becoming real. The wait is almost over.
That's the best thing when they come back.
Jesus Christ, really? Dude.
I mean, we know Toyotaro was, well, I don't know his production, but we know Toriyama was busy doing so much shit that he didn't actually have time to just write Dragon Ball. And then he was a D student writing Dragon Ball, but that's another story. But anyways, you know, he was so busy writing, like, the guy was basically writing and doing 10 mangas a week. Hell, I feel ashamed of myself because this guy was doing 10. Here I am not doing 1. You dig? But hell, we can review his. So, hey, I'm doing my part somewhere. But anyways, y'all know to go check out this guy's content. Hopefully, I'm going to have to look because he dropped a video on Sunday on my ass, which is funny because now it's been since Sunday. You know, it's Friday when I'm recording, right? Right, but anyways, hopefully he doing Super Saturdays over on his Patreon, because, you know, y'all can go over there and check that out for me and let me know. I don't want to spoil y'all Saturdays with me, so y'all gonna have to let me know in the comments. Hey, what's bro doing? Because I as a review channel, I wait till he puts it on his channel and then I review it. You did? Because, hey, I support his work, and you can support me for supporting him, and we can all network together because we all gonna chill and watch the content anyways. Hell, till Toyotaro starts releasing new shit on a consistent basis. Hopefully y'all got y'all some weekly Dragon Ball. If not, Super Saturdays. You see what I'm saying? We get up every Saturday just to do this. That part of the game, right? Right.
Don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the domino, and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Oh dear, as I had feared that it would ultimately come down to something like this after what was just shown having to take place here. But even while we await to see on how we can fight our way out of such a difficult situation, I can only hope that our forces can hold out long enough for a miracle to save us from the unimaginable carnage that's bound to follow.
Our story now continues following the initial events of the inevitable destruction of the Dark Master Gira, courtesy by the hands of our heroes and having to come up with a strategic enough plan in cornering Gira before she was destroyed, as with our heroes now seemingly in full control with only one elite demon left, with Beast Gohan being shown having to face him, was when Beast Gohan then went on to quickly respond, "Whoa, don't go crawling back in cowardice now after everything it was that you had said to me out here, demon, because you should already know if you had even went and done your research on upon us here within the 7th, that we weren't going to go and be pushed around, nor are we going to be beaten that easily in a battle here against you, Gohan says. And since you can't seem but need to want to learn the hard way, then the hard way you will ultimately end up learning, Gohan continues, since we tend to play by the same rules that you demons play by in order for us to go and call things evenly out here against you, and because of this, you should go and come to terms with the fact that this struggle that you had went and tried to wage here against us is over for you. As Goku then went on to respond, good going on having to go and destroy that Dark Master before she was given the chance to flee, Lord Beerus. And since we can now understand on what exactly it is that we are going to have to go and try to do to bring these Dark Masters and their elite demons down, we should continue to incorporate the same strategy that we just used against that demon Gira, and if we simply hope to go and stay in the clear in not having either of us fall to one of them during this battle, with Beerus being shown having to then respond, well, so as long as neither one of you Saiyans ends up getting in my way upon having to destroy them, let alone in being shown having to go and fight them all on your own the way you just did, but instead rather go and stick and move as a unit together, then we will be just fine, so as long as you don't go and mess things up for us even more than what you already have, Goku, with Vegeta then being shown having to respond, good, that's the way, not so tough now without having your precious Dark Masters running around and barking out orders now, is it, Vegeta questions? For it's almost like you have went and doubled our ability to truly make a comeback here against you, whilst assuming that you had us all figured out when in reality you didn't. And so now go and finish that coward off and be done with him for good down there, Gohan, with Beast Gohan having to then respond, and as I just want you to know here and now that you and your kind had done enough damage in having to show us on just how dangerous you demons can truly be when given the right amount of time to follow through with your plans, and since I will no longer stand idly by and having to watch as any of this continues for the sake of both my family alongside my friends, I cannot go and allow for you and your kind to continue to threaten the ones that I love, Gohan continues, because the longer we allow for this to go and continue, then the greater the odds will end up being in having us go and lose everything that we've been fighting to protect, and so, because of this very fact, this here between us finally ends now. And so better you than our friends and family, since you had went and brought this onto yourself, demon. And so now just go and do yourself a favor and close your eyes if you need to, because this ends here and now once and for all, and so now say goodbye. But then it was only just within that very moment as Gohan let out a blast with his very own energy attack now being shown being redirected was when Gohan then went on to continue. Wait, what the? My blast? What did you just do? Gohan shouts. Whoa, hey, watch it, Goku then went on to quickly shout, and just where in the world is that thing going? Unless... no, with Beerus then having to then quickly chime in. Oh, something's pulling that energy blast away from that demon, which could only mean one thing, since we had went and seen something similar to this happen before when that demon had been taken away moments before I had destroyed him. But then, it was only shockingly enough now from out of nowhere within this very moment as Raijin's hand was shown having to appear from a wormhole in stopping and preventing Gohan's attack from having to destroy Zaru was when Raijin went on to quickly address Universe 7 by responding, so this is where the epicenter of defiance along with the resistance that I've been sensing has been festering from now, is it? Because now that I have already claimed 2 of the 3 configuration cubes that I seek, Raijin continues, I can sense the final piece having to resonate from within this very...
See, for those who ain't paying attention, I mean, he just said that Raijin came in off screen and got the second one, so you ain't gotta wait to see him over there putting in that work. Nah, it was the same thing as in the first one. That was gonna be different. Whoever was with him gonna get hit, and he gonna hit him and get him. Yeah, find a pack right there on him, just like Whis got it on him. What did I say about that, Whis? Did I not say put the security package, dog? Just go put it up somewhere. Hell, he don't know where the Omni King's palace is. The Dark Masters did, so you could hide it right there, and it would have still been cool. Yeah, but Wiz trying to keep that thing on because you know he think he ain't gonna fumble. I'm telling you, watch Whis fumble. Whis gonna fumble the ball. The bag is gonna get fumbled. Yeah, Dragon Ball's like
Fairy world, and while you have attempted to go and hide it well, it wasn't ever going to be kept hidden well enough for me to go and not come to find it, Raijin says. For I did not come here to negotiate, nor did I come here to simply parlay with any of you creatures, but to simply retrieve what belongs to me by any means necessary. And if that means that I will go and need to burn everything down within this universe in order for me to go and have it, then I won't go on to waste a single moment in having to do it if it means getting what I am after, even if it's at your own expense, Raijin continues. And so now heed my words and listen very closely to what it is that I'm about to go and say to you, because unlike how it was shown in having to be before, I will not go on to fail a second time in fulfilling my destiny, whether it just so happens to come at the expense of both mortals, gods, and demons alike, Raijin continues, as I will go and tear away at what I must in order to have what it is that I seek. And since you and your universe refuse to accept the circumstances that have already set themselves into motion with, you may have went and done away and have found for a method to go and destroy one of my Dark Masters, but now that I am here, and now that I am aware of the troublesome issues that you and your universe appear to be causing for me and my legion, this here will be as far as I will allow for any of you to go, because from this moment onwards, Raijin continues, I am going to be the one who will be dictating and controlling the outcome of what our battles and how they will be waged here within this universe, creatures. And as you may have went and found a way in being lucky enough to have wiped away with Gira, but I, on the other hand, will not be so easy to go and deal with as she just was, and so this is where your struggle ends. As Beerus went on to then look on by then quickly responding, wait a minute now, hold on, is that really the same demon that was shown in having to reveal himself against us from before? But that can't be, because just look at him, with Goku then chiming in, it is, and what's even more is that incredibly massive battle power that I'm sensing here too. So this was what the Dark Masters had went and used those Super Dragon Balls for, as the Demon Zaru then went on to quickly address Gohan by laughing and responding, oh, not so high and mighty now, aren't you there, Saiyan? Because now you've done it. With Gohan responding, wait a minute now, but that can't be the same Dark God of the Underworld that had went and showed up here just a few hours ago when he did now, could it? Because, well, not only is he visibly shown having to be much different than how he was before, but that power, it's unreal. With Raijin responding, you creatures from the 7th should have already expected for my arrival here again after I had went and warned you that I was going to return, and now that I am back, Raijin says, just because I happen to go and look a little differently doesn't mean that I have forgotten about what it was that you have attempted against me here while in my elder state, Raijin says. Only this time, I in fact don't plan on leaving until I have what I came here to collect, you dirty little worms. But would you go and take a look at that? Of all of the places and of all of the beings in the vast, trembling multiverse, you, Whis, you in fact just so happen to be the one who is cradling the final configuration cube that I seek, just as I assumed that you would after having to watch as a llama crumble beneath my feet, Raijin continues. And now that I am just simply one step closer towards doing the impossible, history will forever change once I have what I came here for. As this now accelerates everything, as you are now the final obstacle that stands between myself and the full reconstruction of the very multiverse itself, and having to go as far as to see on what lies beyond it. And since you are now officially a walking target, Raijin says, I can only go as far as to promise you here and now that I won't let you disappear into the void with my cube until I am to go and pry it from your cold angelic hands, which I already plan to do. With Goku being shown having to turn around and having to shout, hey Whis, if this is true, then you've got to go and try to get as far away from him as you possibly can. As Beerus then went on to quickly respond, oh no, this demon doesn't, for I have seen all that it is that I want to stand to go and handle for one day, and this time you aren't going to be.
See, he already writing Beerus level threats. Like, Well, what are you gonna have Beerus do? I mean, you gotta have something for Beerus to do. Look at Goku. They already know to stand down, pimp in distress. But look at Goku. He standing back like, Nicky, you might want to get that pack up out of here, cuz I don't know why you still holding that. Why would you still be holding the pack? You could have dropped it off anywhere. Make the man run around, because then when he find you, he's still gonna have to what? Run around. It's not like he's on your heels peeping every spot that you teleport to. As soon as you teleport there, nah, he can't show power like that. Unless he probably can, because he got Mirado's power at the moment, so he might be able to tap into where Whis can go instantly right there with him. You can't run once he starts looking at you, type of shit, right? Because then his power is done locked in on you. Now his mouth watering, so he gotta, he chasing the pack.
Going and getting away from me that easily, especially now that I have you exactly where I need for you to be, demon. And as you will hereby come to ultimately know your place in realizing the grave mistake that you had went and made by crossing into my universe, along with having you pay for everything that you and your legion have done in turning everything upside down and on its head upon having to come here, demon. But then, it was only just within these very moments as Beerus was shown having to strike Raijin, as Beerus' strike had literally no effect on Raijin whatsoever, was when Raijin then went on to quickly respond. You still don't choose to try and understand, but would rather rely on blind faith along with a false title in hopes of trying to further prove your point and strike fear within the hearts of those whom you oppose. But just so we are clear here, Beerus, you could never truly go and live up to your title as being a true and fearsome god of destruction, when here I stand before you in being a far greater destroyer than you could ever possibly dream of having to live up to, and yet you're the one with the title as being one when you are not, Raijin says, as you have always and will forever continue to be nothing more than a mere puppet in favor of those who rank above your very nature, and because you will always play second fiddle to those angels and Omni Kings alike, Raijin continues, I, on the other hand, am far more than what you could ever hope and dream of becoming, for it is I who currently sits at the very top of that pecking order while you continue to coexist beneath me, which is exactly on how this shall remain from here on, always and forever, Beerus, as both Vegeta and Goku were then shown having to quickly make their way towards Raijin and dashing towards his direction, with Goku responding, whoa, Vegeta, we are hereby left with no other choice, and so we have to get in there and try, even if we just so happen to fail to go and make a difference in having to stop him. And so let's hurry and go and close right in before he goes and makes the first move against us instead, as Zoro then went on to quickly respond, oh, that was close, but since Lord Raijin appears to have their full and undivided attention here, now's my chance to go and hurry back and make my way into the demon realm before it's too late. But then, it was only just during the middle of Beerus' body being shown having to crash directly into Gohan, as Whis went on to then further make his presence known by having to get in between them and stopping them from further having to fly out, was when Whis went on to then quickly respond, oh dear, easy there, careful now, for you do not need to go and have to worry, as I am here for you all and will continue to go and do so until the bitter end, regardless of what ends up happening, as Raijin then went on to then further freeze Goku and Vegeta in place by then responding, and then there's the two of you, proud and arrogant Saiyan warriors Goku and Vegeta, as if your battle against that fallen angel Murno had went and taught you anything, for it should have ultimately been on when to know to back down rather than continue to engage in fighting against an enemy that you both simply know that you are powerless to destroy. And while I honestly have no interest in having to go and deal with either one of you, since you already are both extremely far beneath me, Raijin continues, you are both but a joke through my very own eyes, because Murno should have ended you both a very long time ago when he had the chance, but since I am now left to go and deal with his failures, allow for me to go and have you both use your heads in giving you yet another reminder on why you will never hope in ever having to come close enough in beating me in battle, no matter what it is that you go and try against me. But then, it was only shockingly enough now from out of nowhere as Super Saiyan 3 Broly went on to make his presence known in wrapping himself around Raijin and squeezing him within a bear hug, was when a surprised Raijin then went on to quickly respond, "What the? Oh, and just what is this? For do you honestly really think that this is going to somehow work here against me, you primitive beast? Please, don't insult me with such a primal attempt of trying to go and get the better of me whilst not having a single clue as to what you are truly going up against here, Saiyan. And so the harder you attempt to squeeze, the more you expose your pitiful desperation," Raijin continues, "and that is simply because sheer size and strength alone isn't what forges a dangerous fighter, Saiyan, but it is rather the size of the fight and the levels that you are willing to suffer through within that forge the most dangerous and ruthless warriors the world has ever seen. And since you wouldn't understand given how you are not from the demon realm," Raijin proceeds upon being shown having to slowly pull Broly's arms away, "allow for me to hereby go and show you that just because you're big does it not mean that you are stronger than those who were forged within the fires of darkness long before your very own time, Saiyan, as I am going to come to make you slowly regret in not surrendering yourself to me when you were given the chance to go and do so, because while you could have proven yourself to be rather useful to our cause in serving directly under me as one of my strongest demon warriors throughout the entirety of the demon realm itself, let this now go and serve as being a small reminder to you that you will never go and be strong enough on your own to stop me from achieving my ultimate goals, Broly. And if you had been wise enough earlier and had submitted yourself to my very will, could you have been a magnificent weapon of destruction within the ranks of my demon army, but you had went and made your decision even long before I had arrived within your universe, which goes and tells me everything it is that I need to go and know about you. And so if this was going to be the very best that you little worms could do in using all that you possibly could in trying to stand across for me during this battle, Raijin says, then go and do yourselves a favor before I return to you and simply stay down in the meantime. But then, it was only just upon with Raijin being shown having to walk right past Vegeta and Goku, with Vegeta being shown having to grab onto Raijin's leg, was when Vegeta went on to then quickly respond, "Don't you dare go and take another damn step closer, demon, for I don't care on how much pain I'm in or how many times you go and knock me down, because the only thing that truly matters is for you to know that we won't stop fighting you until you are reduced to nothing more than space dust. And while you gloat about your destiny and talk about the inevitability of your conquest and getting what you're after," Vegeta continues, "all I seem to continue to listen to is a coward who is hiding behind stolen power that he simply didn't earn, but had rather went and used every other method that he could in order to convince himself otherwise," Vegeta continues. "And so if you truly want to win, then you'll have to go and crush the very spirit of every warrior standing in your path here, as I promise you that this isn't going to be something that you will be able to go and accomplish so easily, demon," with Raijin responding, "And just who exactly do you think you are by going and placing your dirty hands on me and attempting to prevent me from obtaining my destiny, mortal? For you are nothing but a worm, and so now allow for me to go and make something extremely clear to you so that you may fully be able to go and understand," Raijin says, "as both yourself along with every single insignificant soul who calls this universe their home are not worthy of my time. For I didn't go and come here to go and trade philosophies with weak and broken warriors such as yourself, when I had came here instead to go and lay claim over what is mine to have, which ultimately extends and goes far beyond you feeble creatures. However, you say that I will go and need to crush your spirits if I truly hope to be victorious over you, but I already have and you just haven't went and realized it yet, Raijin continues. For your will may be strong, Saiyan, but I am not here to go and do battle against will, for I am here to rewrite the very fabric of reality and history itself. And if I'll need to go and start by setting the example with you as my victim, then so be it then, mortal. But then, it was only just then within these very moments as Whis went on to make his presence known and having to intervene by attacking Raijin was when Whis went on to then quickly shout, "That's enough, for you have went and caused far too much damage as it is for me to go and stand idly by and having to watch you go and attempt to destroy these mortals while I'm here to go and aid them, and as I will not allow for you to go and hereby advance in your quest and watching you further plunge the multiverse into even more chaos than what it was, and especially now that you are far too dangerous to be allowed to go unchecked, which I will now go and do what I must in order to stop you from succeeding, demon," with Raijin responding, "Why, you insufferable angelic creature. For you and your kind have always been the most troublesome bunch that always had went and managed to get in the way of each and every single one of my plans, and having my suffering all stem because of you. But no matter then," Raijin says, "because now that I know as to where the third and final configuration cube lies, I will go on to stop at nothing to have what I am rightfully owed and what rightfully goes and belongs to me. And as the only reason as to why you are still breathing," Raijin continues upon being shown having to push Whis away, "is simply because I want you to go and feel every bit of what I had felt when you and your kind had went and sealed me away, and as the very essence of isolation, agony, and torment, and for the crimes of being what you are, which is an angel and a creation of the same system that had imprisoned me for generations upon generations and having to leave me to rot until the end of my days. And instead of using that very same power that your fallen angelic brother Murno had to rip you apart and ending your life as quickly as I could, and as I am going to go and make you feel every bit of the pain that I had went and felt when both your brother and your father had imprisoned me, Whis. And as your siblings along with your father will ultimately come to sense the void of where you once stood," Raijin continues, "but by the time they go and come to find out on what had happened to you, it will already be too late in having anyone try and do anything that they could muster in stopping me," Raijin says, "and so you can go and try as much as you'd like in attempting to try to best me if you think that it'll honestly be enough to go and win you the day, because in the end, you will ultimately fail just as the others have fallen before you, Whis. And with Murno's divine knowledge infused into my very soul, I am no longer bound by the limitations of flesh or magic," Raijin continues, "for I have become a weapon of absolute annihilation. And since you and your kind are the only living creatures remaining who can still stand to challenge my authority," Raijin continues, "I am going to go and take this time to go and do unto you just as you and your kind had went and done unto me, while I slowly go and grind you into the dirt where you rightfully belong before I am to have what you just so happen to hold in your hand. But understand this, angel, that you can go and make no mistake about the fact that I will go and get my hands on that final configuration cube from you, whether I am to go and pry it from you during our battle or I tear it from your lifeless corpse, as one way or another, I will not cease my destruction until I have what I have been searching for," Raijin continues, "as I am going to hurt you in ways that your divine anatomy isn't quite ready for, and since you seem to be guarding the one thing that I am after, I am going to go and punish you for every second that you delay my destiny, and for every generation that you and your kind had stood by in silence and watched as I rotted beyond the edges of time itself is something that I will also go and make you pay dearly for, Whis. And as you will pay for both your neutrality along with your apathy, as you will also be paying that final price with your very existence itself once this is all said and done. son, Angel, and while I do not have the need to go and exert much of myself out here against you, and considering that Myrno's very power is what makes up the majority of my newly combined strength, Raijin continues, it's time that you go and suffer for what your father had went and put me through, because since he's no longer around, I'm going to go and make sure that you wind up paying his price for him. As it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Dark Masters, the official Myrno sequel, manga chapter number 37 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now I will go as far as to say that although I was not expecting for that demon god Raijin to enter into our world in going after us just now, we must rapidly scramble to hurry and find a way to hold out against this beast until more help ends up arriving, because with Raijin's power now shown in having to simply be far too strong for either one of our heroes to handle all on their own, I'm afraid drastic measures must be set into motion moving forward, lest we warrant having to lose everyone within the process if we don't find a way to create an opening.
Man, just look at that shot of beer and see how we're putting it at work. I mean, if y'all ain't freeze framing it, I don't know what you're doing right there. You see what I'm saying? You better screenshot that. Matter of fact, I need a new screensaver anyways. Oh, shit. No, I ain't gonna play with you. I ain't gonna play with you. Nope, I ain't even finna play with you. I ain't even finna play with you. I'm gonna go ahead and get here. I'm gonna turn that camera to the side because it's the actual camera. Yeah, get it that way, Fred. Boom, there we go. See. Anyways, let's get to the rest of the video. I ain't trying to hold y'all up all day.
Soon, and because of this, you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal Gaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unreal Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell. Me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
You're making a big mistake. Where do you think you're going? Pity, what a waste of talent. Bye. Not today. Back off.
Have it your way. A tough guy like you should be able to face the truth.
Are you okay?
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door.
I released a video recently where I made the assertion that not a single one of you could beat any Dragon Ball fighter. And the hilarious part is, the comments were flooded with people who thought that I was wrong and that they had valid answers. You're all wrong, so let's go through them. You think you could beat Chaozu in a fight? Sorry, my guy, but he can fly, psychically control your entire body, and shoot deadly Dodonpa beams that would have one-shotted Goku an arc prior. So yeah, try again. You think you can beat Ranfan or Bacterian from the World Tournament? Well, at least you're getting a bit more creative now, but still, unfortunately, both of them, despite their gimmicks, were still highly capable fighters that made their way through the preliminary rounds of the most illustrious martial arts tournament in the world. Unless you are a legit high-level professional fighter, which I highly doubt you are, you ain't taken either of these guys. Videl, not even close. Chi-Chi, she is absolutely wiping the floor with you. Oolong? Well, okay, he's not really a fighter to begin with, is he? But honestly, he might just turn into a rocket and fly out of your reach, so even if you do cheat, you're still not beating a Dragon Ball fighter. Sorry.
Bro, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is one of those animes that starts off super chill. School vibes, duels happening left and right, and out of nowhere, it spirals into full-blown existential chaos with monsters and parallel dimensions. Today, we're diving back into Jaden Yuki's wild journey from freshman at Duel.
Man, y'all already know this Super Saturdays. I don't know what the hell they talking about. But anyways, let's see. Y'all know to hit up the W link. I'll probably leave that somewhere for y'all. And it's on my TWP affiliate link section over there. Y'all know to go check that out because, you know, Super Saturdays get you some W energy. If nothing else, sign up for their affiliate program so y'all can start selling them too. Hell, I mean, I got my affiliate link, so if y'all buy anything, I get my percentage out of it. You dig? Hey, keep it in the family, because, hey, like I said, if you buy their products and sign up for their affiliate program, they'll actually sponsor you after that. So, man, it's an easy program to actually get you some stuff going. Other than that, y'all know to hit that Buy Me a Coffee link. Support the videos and the channel directly through the Buy Me a Coffee. I mean, YouTube monetization would be nice, but we already a monetized channel, and y'all already know the Rumble video was up on Rumble shortly after it was recorded, so y'all know to go check us out over there. Shout out to the Rumble, you dig? Other than that, y'all know to keep